A trial is underway in Brookhaven, Mississippi for two men accused of chasing and shooting at a FedEx driver who was dropping off a package. Brandon Case and his father, Gregory, were indicted in November on charges of attempted first-degree murder, conspiracy, and shooting into the vehicle of D'Monterrio Gibson in January 2022. ABC News legal contributor and trial attorney Brian Buckmeyer is joining me now for more on this. Brian, what do you think of opening statements, and what are you watching for during this trial?
So in opening statements, we have two defendants here, and one of them, being Brandon, his attorney decided not to have an opening statement. I thought that was interesting, especially because he's the one that's accused of at least pulling out the gun initially. Well, Gregory's attorney did give an opening statement, and I thought it was interesting to kind of comment on the mistake of why he was there, but not on the actual shooting. And the prosecution, I think, laid out the facts as best as they could. It's a pretty simple case. What I'm looking for now is the explanation for why did you shoot? Not just why did you try to intercept this delivery driver?
This case sparked a lot of conversations about racism in Brookhaven. The suspects are white, this FedEx driver's black. Do you think race is going to play a role in the trial?
Absolutely, because I think for the prosecution, they're going to have to try to answer the question of why. A lot of us, especially during the pandemic, saw people coming to our homes, delivering packages, going to our neighbors and delivering packages. Now, I understand that the vehicle was a Hertz rental vehicle, but Gibson was wearing a FedEx uniform. So what about this situation made it seem peculiar to the cases? And I think race is going to be a part of that answer in this case.
How will the law for citizens' arrest in Mississippi play a role?
So I think the cases have to try to make that argument that they were trying to effectuate some sort of an arrest past just asking him questions. But in a citizen's arrest, you have to articulate that there's some sort of felony that was happening that you're trying to stop. But in the case's 911 call, they said, well, it just looks like this person is up to something not good. That's not necessarily a felony. So I don't know how that works out here.
Sentencing in Mississippi is interesting because this will be up to the jury, not the judge, as often happens in cases. How do you think that will impact this case?
Well, oftentimes, especially as a defense attorney, when your client is convicted and you're looking to a judge to a sentence, you make the argument to say, Judge, hey, of all of the attempted murders that you and I have seen go throughout this courthouse, this is not the worst. And so take that into consideration and give my client closer to the lower end, which would be around 20 years, 25 years, not the higher end for all the more egregious attempted murders we've seen. But a jury doesn't have that kind of barometer to measure against. And so the shock factor of what they see in the jury could be a large part of what they do in the sentencing, where they say, this is absolutely ridiculous. Why would you ever do this? Let's punish them with a lot more years than a judge may have otherwise.
And that's, of course, assuming they're convicted, which they very well may not be. What are you watching for the defense here?
For the defense, give me an explanation. What is this? Are you defending property? I understand this property that Gibson was on their mother-in-law's property. Why are you there? Why are you showing up with a gun? I mean, deliveries with FedEx, it only takes a few minutes, seconds for them to get onto the property and off. In that time, why did you think it was proper to get a truck, a gun, and then chase him afterwards?
All right, ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer, thank you.
My pleasure.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.